Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. I am taking an opportunity now to go back to a person who passed away. I could remember as if it were yesterday. It was the 26th of December. And in my news feed, this came up, and I thought, why am I getting the chills? Why am I getting hairs standing on end? And this is Pankhuri Shrivastava. And why did it hit me so much? And I processed it, and I couldn't have a conversation with her right away because there was something chilling about this that I couldn't put my finger on. Now, Pankhuri, she was 32 years old. She was born in 1989 and she died 2021. She was, so 32, you see her picture on the thumbnail, and she was the CEO of Pankhuri. All right, now what did she do? First of all, why I'm conversing with her is that there is something odd in the way she passed. In all of the media, she is described as having passed from a sudden cardiac arrest. And let me just give you a little background about her. She founded Pankhuri, her company, in 2019. And this is what brought me the chills. It was a women-centered media platform. And what does that mean? Well, she was an Indian entrepreneur. So her idea behind this platform was that it was a place for women, like-minded women, to interact. And women of a certain type, and women who were in the business world mostly, but in general it was extended across the board. Now, she founded multiple startups, and this is what was so interesting about this young woman. And there was another startup called Grabhouse, a rental company that was sold on an online market to the online market. And she was described as being a woman who opened social media to other women, where women could watch live streams, take educational courses, a true driving force she was to further the development of women in her country. I firmly believe that. And unfortunately, she was stopped too young at this age. And it was a place where also women could shop, where they could communicate, among other things as well. In the startup community, especially, her loss was felt seriously. But you check her out, you can find her. And why I'm conversing with her is that she had come to me in February, and there was something odd, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't understand what the communication was. And of course, there was the problem was that she was earthbound, and then when I did have her pass, she came again. It was about 3 weeks after that. And so this is, has been maturing in time. And what it is that was really hitting in my brain, I was wondering, what is it about this young woman? And obviously it was about the way she passed, because if she was earthbound, there was something violent involved in her passing. And we'll ask her. And other than that, it was also such a huge travesty. I was going to say a tragedy of such importance that you being alive, we will never feel what her star could have told us, what her rising star could have meant for young women in India. Now, she was considered by many people who knew her as very vivacious. She was bright. She was a woman full of ideas and full of life. Let's get to let's get to talk to her. But before I start with her conversation, look at my emails and where I have readings and my movement courses, the voice consciousness in movement, grace movement consciousness, and breathwork consciousness. And the two things, the moving in grace and the voice in movement, are two different lessons, and the breath consciousness supports both of them. I'll send you to my page. You can write to me and get information. I always offer a first course free, first lesson free. And my tongue is tied. I'm so excited to be able to communicate with her. So let's start. She's saying, it is about time. I wanted to speak out for very, very, very long. There is a lot to be said. A lot to be said that I was beginning to say. A lot to be said that I was beginning to say, and many people knew that I could have been a radical change. I could have enacted radical change and could have revolutionized the position of women in my country. I did die of cardiac arrest, but not of natural causes. She's saying sabotage, and not in the sense, I don't believe it, what she's meaning. It's not sabotage. I was asked to leave because my soul wanted to continue. I had a plan. My soul's contract had a plan to overturn the way women lived in a country that was behind in many respects in terms of women's freedom. She's saying drugged. I was drugged. I was administered medication that simulated cardiac arrest. And this was done primarily to halt my progress. Now this is, every now and then I'll stop. This is extremely interesting, and you would tend to ask, well, I mean, why her? I could see something like in Bollywood, people or actors and actresses become so prominent and so powerful that they might be limited, because in the case of a few of the actors and actresses that I channeled, it was a matter of not bringing to the fore certain rings, certain people trafficking, and things of that nature. But in this case, I was thinking to myself, how could that be? Could it be that there would, be such sabotage, like she said, sabotage? And apparently so. She's saying, you have no idea, because You, dear woman, live in a society that opens doors, not completely perhaps, but does offer open doors. I was very lucky. Yes, I can say I was very lucky because I lived in my own personal family environment that was beneficial for what I wanted to achieve, and I was able to carry it out and also bring forth many ideas that were, in a sense, revolutionary, but they didn't develop to the point of actually being claimed to be revolutionary. I personally did not have plans to enter politics or any of the spheres of power. I had no interest. But I had thought and was offered a position in an association for women that promoted full stream, she's saying full stream ahead, promoted wholeheartedly the advancement of women at a very young age. It was my idea to continue on with the banner of improving the possibility for women to advance. You might think that it is a question or an issue that has nothing to be spoken about because you see women being free on the outside. But I assure you that this is not the case. She's flustering. She's as if she can't get out enough. Very young, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful light. She emanates beautiful light around her. My idea was to shed light, but make my light shine on those who lived in darkness and who could not find an outlet for their own light to shine. This is just one of the many issues that plagues our country and women in our country in particular. I understand wholeheartedly that matters of economic importance, of agricultural importance, may seem to be more prominent and of more urgence. But believe me, it was high time we emphasize the important contributions that women and very young women could make to the advancement of my country. I am not a feminist. I do not and never did talk out or for women, but I worked meticulously at laying the groundwork for those women who could to start their education and their development in one particular field of their choice. It was as if I was planting seeds. Many young women do not see the opportunity of putting their own seeds in fertile ground. And many young women, unfortunately, live with the illusion of being able to enter some form of profession that will very readily bring them benefit in some way, economic benefit, but that will also bring them a touch of fame. And this is where my interest for social media has come. I believed that if we use the very medium that taught or that women were subject to, women were open to or part of, then I could use that medium for their own advancement, as if I was changing the situation around and using a mirror for women to understand that they too could be part of the media, but in a more personalized way and in a more direct way, to have their creative outlets among women and elsewhere. Very early on, I had much satisfaction in seeing my small seeds that I had planted grow into smiling faces and abundant ideas. I ask myself, and I asked myself when I was alive, would I have changed anything if I had the opportunity to go back? And I was young at 32 years old, but had I had the opportunity to go back, would I have done the same thing or things? And I have to say yes. And also, my message to you is that one of the key elements of success, of your success, is precisely this: picking out, she's funneling her hands, picking out one route, one path for you to walk along and contribute to those around you. Remember that everyone's voice, not only people who have a greater voice, but everyone's voice needs to be heard, because creativity flourishes from multiple varied voices. Raise your voice, raise your heart, and sing your ideas aloud to have others work with you. Another very interesting and difficult for me to understand is the reasons behind desiring marriage at such an early age. We have all fallen prey to the pressures, family pressures, but I believe it is a mistake if you see and if you think and if you are convinced that a marriage can change your life. One thing I ask of you, and this is why I have come. One thing I want to ask is to please try and try and try to promote change. Promote change every waking moment of your lives. Thank you. Oh, that was so intense, like a thunder, lightning right out of the sky, and just come in, give you the message, and get out. This was really, really intense. It's going to take me an hour to get to relax after this. Thank you for listening. And if you're around here for the first time, my name is Claudia Monicelli or Christelle Martinette. Take a look at my videos, give it a like, give this a like. And if you enjoy the channel, subscribe and push that notification bell so you'll be notified when I have new videos up or when I'm going live. Also, do consider coming to one of my lessons and have a free lesson to try it out. Write to me, write at claudiamonicelli.com or readings@christellemartinette.com. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. I'll be back. I will. I always say that.